I thought deciding to change would fix everything. It didn't. The first days felt nothing like healing. They felt like withdrawal, like standing alone in the ruins of who I used to be. But that's where rebuilding actually began. This is what really happened after I said, I can't do this anymore. After that morning, I wanted to believe things would immediately get better, that deciding to change was enough. But the truth is, the first days were the hardest. The silence I used to run from, now it was everywhere. No alcohol, no people to distract me, just me. It felt like torture. I didn't know how to be alone with myself. My mind was loud, unfiltered, exposed. But something important was happening. For the first time in years, I wasn't numbing anything. I was actually feeling it. The pain, the fear, the confusion, the emptiness. It was brutal, but it was real. And real was better than pretending. I didn't know where to start. So I did the simplest thing possible. I picked up a book. Not because I wanted to transform my life, but because I needed something. Anything that wasn't the noise inside my head. And that single choice opened a door I didn't expect. One book led to another, and another, and another. Before I realized it, I had read 47 books in less than 2 months. And each one shifted something inside me. Not all at once, but slowly, layer by layer. They didn't replace the pain. They gave it meaning. They gave it direction. One of the first books that hit me hard was The 4 Agreements. It taught me something I had never understood. Most of my suffering wasn't coming from reality, but from the meanings I attached to everything. Don't take anything personally. That one line alone softened years of overthinking. People weren't hurting me because of who I was. They were acting from their own wounds, their own stories, their own chaos. Don't make assumptions. Half my anxiety came from inventing stories that weren't even true. Be impeccable with your word. I realized how often I spoke against myself without even noticing it. The book wasn't complicated, but it changed the way I saw my entire life. Then came the book that didn't heal me gently. It slapped me. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F. Mark Manson wrote something that made me freeze mid-sentence. Your life is defined by what you're willing to struggle for. Suddenly, everything I went through made sense. I wasn't suffering because life was cruel. I was suffering because I was giving my energy to things that didn't matter. Other people's opinions, being liked, looking successful, avoiding discomfort, pretending to be okay. I was giving all my fucks to things that gave nothing back. Manson forced me to ask myself, what actually matters to me? Not to my friends, not to society, not to the person I was pretending to be, but to me. And the moment I answered that question, my identity began to shift. Then came Atomic Habits. This book didn't motivate me. It gave me a structure, a blueprint. Your habits shape your identity. And suddenly I understood why I stayed stuck for so long. My daily actions didn't match the person I wanted to become. Identity wasn't a dream. It wasn't a wish. It wasn't a feeling. Identity was repetition. small actions, stacked daily, rewiring the brain one tiny shift at a time. Reading one page, drinking one glass of water, taking one cold shower, meditating for 2 minutes. Small wasn't weak. Small was the beginning. Then came the books that didn't just teach me something. They rewired me. You Are the Placebo and Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Joe Dispenza explained something I had always felt but never knew how to express. My thoughts weren't reactions. They were programming. Every belief, every fear, every emotional pattern was a loop I had practiced for years. And because I practiced them, my brain repeated them. Dispenza showed me that if I wanted to change my life, I had to teach my brain a different story. Not by force, not by denial, but by attention. My mind wasn't broken, it was conditioned. And anything conditioned can be reconditioned. My breathing changed, my internal storm eased. It wasn't a miracle, it was awareness. And awareness was the beginning of freedom. But the book that changed me the deepest, the one that felt like waking up, was The Power of Now. I didn't just read it, I studied it. I returned to it again and again and again. Because it revealed something I had been missing my entire life. Presence. I wasn't living. I was remembering, worrying, escaping. I lived in the past, punishing myself, or in the future, terrified of things that hadn't even happened. But the present moment, the only place where healing actually exists, I ignored it completely. When I learned to sit in the now, even for a few seconds, my anxiety softened, my thoughts slowed. I wasn't transforming overnight. I wasn't suddenly becoming a new person. I was finally meeting myself. Without the noise, without the running, without the masks. Books didn't save me, they guided me. They showed me how to think, how to feel, how to rebuild, how to understand my own mind instead of drowning inside it. This was the beginning of my mental rebirth.